you tend to put too much power into your body to open up. But again, it needs to be as relaxed as possible going sideways. My hands are brought down a little bit lower for me to swing down, right? So you can see that I am trying to focus on that as I do my kata. Minasan konnichiwa, and welcome to Let's Ask Shogo. So guys, I actually have an Iaido tournament coming up soon, and I wanted to film this video as soon as possible because I actually have hardly gotten any good results in my competitions before. So today what I wanted to do is I actually went to my dojo the other day to film me doing the 12 standard kata of All Japan Kendo Federation Iaido Club. And today I would like to take a look at my own videos of myself doing the kata, and I'd like to point out a few things I would like to fix before I take part in the competition. So by watching this video, you'll be able to watch me doing the kata first of all, and also I'd love to explain about what the situations are in each kata, so you'll be able to deepen your understanding towards Iaido. However, I do want you to understand that I'm still in my second dan. I've been practicing for about 7 years, almost on my 8th year, so I don't have that much experience. And even within Japan, depending on which prefecture you are, which area you are, which dojo you train in and such, the points that you focus on, that you emphasize in training and such, are slightly different. So it'd be great if you can understand that, and also if you are a trainee of Iaido, it'd be great if you can let me know in the comments if you notice something that I'm not doing correctly, or if there's other points that your master or instructor has taught you, it'd be great if you can share with us. In this channel, you can take a closer look at Japanese traditional culture, tips on traveling to Kyoto, and social problems in Japan. So learners and lovers of Japanese language and culture, be sure to subscribe to enjoy more content. Okay, so let's start by taking a look at the first kata. It was a really hot day. Mid-September, still very hot. Okay. This is so embarrassing looking at myself so calmly. Yeah. Okay. Hands down. Take a few steps back. First of all, the Nukitsuke, first draw and attack move, I think it's gotten a lot better than it used to be. My shoulders are a little bit more relaxed. Beginners tend to go way too high because they put a lot of power into their shoulders. You need to aim for the opponent's eyes who are sitting down, so your shoulders needs to be as low down as possible, much relaxed as possible. I think my kata has gotten a little bit better. Still though, you can see that my hands are a little bit higher than my shoulders, right? So it needs to be as low as possible. But I guess it's not that bad. But after that though, what I'm concerned about is when I swing the katana down. You can see that my right arm is completely stretched out, but my left arm is a little bit bent, right? I'm definitely putting more power into my right hand. Now, katana in general, if you're going to be swinging it with two hands, you should be swinging with your left arm as much as possible, and your right arm works as more of a brake basically, or a control your katana more, less of the power. But if you can take a look at this here, by how much bent and stretched my arms are, I think I'm putting too much power into my right hand for the swinging too. So this is a very difficult part about the first kata. You gotta swing with your right hand only for your first Nukitsuke, but then you gotta switch your left hand and do the second blow. So that's a little bit difficult, but it's something I definitely need to master. And then the next thing about the Ochiburi is I do here, you bring your hands here and you swing the katana to shake the blood off the blade, that movement. This I have been struggling for years and years since I started training, but if you can watch me do it, the swinging part needs to be very fast and powerful. But from here, once you come to the chiburi movement, it needs to be more relaxed and natural. But you can see that I'm adding a little bit more some force into it, and my hands are doing some extra movements. So that is absolutely not needed. So I'm pretty sure I'm probably trying to use my wrist to do it a little bit, but if you come here, it's more of your shoulders and your arms that needs to be. Your wrist doesn't have to move at all, but I think I'm trying to use my wrist to make the movement bigger, but that is incorrect. So then the second kata, Ushiro. Right, turn with 2 steps. I have bandages on my feet there. Okay, sit down. Now this is a very difficult kata. Okay, stand on your toes, turn and cut. Swing. From here is very similar to the first kata, but the legs are different though. Left and right are different. Okay, sheathing and going back down. And step back. So again, you can see for the nukitsuke, you can see that my hands are absolutely not going sideways. You can see it's going this way. Because it's so difficult to maintain a good balance for Ushido as you turn around and you have to do the nukitsuke, you tend to put too much power into your body to open up. But again, it needs to be as relaxed as possible going sideways and never up like this. This is absolutely not good. Too much power in my shoulders. And also it's really important that after you turn around, you have a moment of pressuring your opponent with the end of the handle. So I did okay with that, but from there, drawing from there needs to be much more relaxed. I have too much power in my body, so it just means I lack practice. Okay, so then the third kata, ukenagashi. Okay, sit down. Facing sideways. Now this is a very difficult kata too. Look to the side. Okay. And sit back down. Okay. Yeah, this is a short but really difficult kata too. So there are a few points that you absolutely need to look out for when you do the third kata ukenagashi. One of them, especially the one that I have been fixed by my sensei many times, is when you're about to stand up, you don't want to bring the tsuka lower once and then lift it up. You should automatically bring your tsuka handle up without lowering at all. That part, because I focused on it, I think I did okay. I didn't bring my tsuka handle any lower than from my first position. And from there, a really important point is when you do the blocking movement, it's important that you don't reach up high to do it. A lot of people, especially beginners, tend to, when they draw the katana up, they tend to bring their whole body up too. But no, you try to keep your body as low as possible to block, and with the same height, without changing your hands, you turn the sword and you swing down. I might be stretching up a little bit too much. And also you can see that from this dodging position, my hands are brought down a little bit lower for me to swing down, right? But it's best that I don't move this position and swing from here. Without almost not changing the height of my hand, I need to bring my left hand to swing it down, but you can see I'm bringing my right hand a little bit lower. But that's not good either because there's extra movement, unneeded movement to my kata. Then next, the fourth kata, tsukate. Sit down, and this is the iaihiza, not the seiza. Different way of sitting. Okay. Oh yeah, exactly. Some points I'm trying to work on. And there are two really important parts of the tsukate. Number one is when you actually do the tsukate, which means you're hitting with the end of the handle, it's really important that you never lean forward to attack. As you can see, I still have a straight back as I do the tsukate, so you don't reach out to hit your enemy. You just keep your body strong and stable, and then you do the tsukate. That's as far as you should reach. Even after you turn around to do the stabbing, you shouldn't move your front knee too much. You should keep it in the same position, again, to keep yourself stable as much as possible. My knees are moving a little bit, so maybe I should focus on that a little bit more too. And the most not so good part about my tsukate here, when I'm about to swing the katana down, you can see the tip of my sword is a little bit lower. It's best to keep your sword parallel to the ground as much as possible. So that is not a good sign. It absolutely means that, again, I'm putting too much power into my hands. I can be a little bit more relaxed. And you might have noticed that my noto, sheathing the katana, the movement is really strange, right? I'm like moving my arms like this a little bit. If I overdo it, I'm like doing like this, right? This is because I don't want to hit the sheath onto the ground. This is the katana that I'm using in this video, but it's actually pretty long. It's 2.55 shaku. So if I try to do the regular noto, the end of the sheath tends to hit the floor and it makes a very big sound. Now during competitions, during shinsa, the exams, it's best that you don't make that big sound by hitting the end of the sheath. So that's the reason why I'm stretching my arms a little bit more to do the sheathing without drawing my scabbard too much. But also, this is important, but also at the same time, I need to try to make my sheathing look a little bit more natural because I'm, bringing my body in front like this and it looks like I'm losing my stableness. So that is not a good sign. I should really try to fix this a little bit more too. The next is the 5th kata. From here is the standing kata. Okay, 2, cut, down. Okay. Yeah, kesagiri. But it's really important for this 5th kata when you do the kesagiri. My instructor has taught me that you need to imagine that you have a clock in front of you. And your down up needs to be from 7 o'clock to 1 o'clock. And then again, you turn your sword from here and you swing down, right? And it has to be the same from 1 o'clock to 7 o'clock. That's the angle you want to aim for. So you can see that I am trying to focus on that as I do my kata. And after the swinging, next comes the very difficult part too. This is the hasso no kamae. This is really difficult too. I have actually just recently fixed this, but it's actually a defense form. But it's important that you keep the sword, the end of the handle at the center of your body, and the blade needs to be an angle of 45 degrees, which is very difficult to tell from this video though, unfortunately. And the sword shouldn't be too close nor too far away from your body. It needs to be in a really rather comfortable place, but some instructors have taught me that it needs to be in distance where you can almost smell your tsuba. So it shouldn't be far away like this. It needs to be closer to your body so you can react to any kind of attack from there. And one last thing that's unique to the 5th kata is that when you do the chiburi, you immediately hold on to the koikuchi, which is the entrance of the scabbard. So usually you would put your hand like this for all of the other kata, but for this, you grab onto it. The 5th and also the 9th kata does that. This is the point that all of the examinees and all of the instructors will be looking out for when you take part in tournaments and such. So this is very, very important. So then the 6th kata, morotezuki. Stab. Okay. Again, seems to be putting too much power in my hands again, I bet. Not completely bad, but not good either. Let me step back. So the first most difficult part about morotezuki is of course the first nukitsuke. The angle, getting this correctly is just really, really difficult. So basically what you're trying to do is you're trying to cut the enemy's face from the cheek down to the chin. So we say in order to get the right position, when you draw the nukitsuke, you should bring the tsuba, the handguard, to your mouth height. And if you do the nukitsuke from there, it should automatically be the right position. And if you see in this video, you can kind of see it's probably, this camera has a little bit of an angle. I think I am about to try to aim around my mouth. So that is good. And from there to stab is really important. When you try to stab with the katana in the 6th kata, you don't go like this, no. It's more of squeezing your hands in and attacking. Because this movement is not so strong. You want to put your whole body into your stab. So you twist in your hands as you stab. And also after the stabbing, you need to do some cutting towards the enemy behind you. But you have your katana stabbed in the enemy in front of you. So you can't just pull it out that easily to go and attack the person behind you. So you need to imagine that your blade is still stuck in the enemy and you're using your whole body to pull the sword out as you turn around. So you shouldn't move your hands so quickly. Yeah, you can see that I'm trying to keep my hands at the same height for a while, and as my body moves, you can see that the height of my hands gradually change. And the first blow is rather okay because the tip of my sword is not going so low. But the second cut, you can see that the tip of my sword is completely not parallel to the ground. It's a lot lower than my handle. And I swung too much that I cut too low as well. Even after cutting, the sword should be parallel to the ground. So this absolutely is way too low, too much power. You can easily understand that the sword is not under my control. First enemy, second, and third. Your feet needs to be completely turned to the back in order to stab. Now, the really important part about the stab is that you don't bring your arms too far in front of you.